Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about the Cantillon Effect in trucking. But first, roll the intro. Welcome back. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased owner operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them going, and let's talk about the Cantillon Effect when it comes to trucking. We are a trucking channel after all, and this is something that I think you'll be able to use to be able to maybe look back historically over the last few years with different fiscal policies, money printing, and and how that has affected the freight markets, our economy, our debt levels, and inflation. So back to the Cantillon Effect. Now, Richard Cantillon is an 18th century basically economist. He came up with the idea of relative inflation. He was the one looking at value and supply and demand, and 18th century, so goes back to some of the earliest concepts of economics. So one of the fathers, if you will, of some of these major economic theories. So enough of that. Cantillon Effect is money that's printed, however, and quite unfortunately, not reaching everyone at once, right? So generally, those who get it first get the most benefit from it, and those who get it, further down the line, if you will, benefit less and less and less. Now, the first ones to get it are generally banks and government. They receive it first. And, having the benefit of receiving it first gives you the benefit of being able to spend it first, and doing so before prices rise, because new money printing generally creates inflationary action. And so this acts as more of a discount program because you get to buy things at discount before inflation pushes prices up, and that's exactly what the banks and government do. And a lot of banks will just lend that money out at higher rates to you anyway. Ultimately, being a trucking channel, I wanted to look at the Cantillon Effect when it comes to small carriers as well as owner operators. So we're talking just a handful of trucks, 1 to 5 trucks, 1 to 10 trucks, maybe at the very most. Theoretically, technically be 1 to 6 trucks if we're going to go by statistics. Nonetheless, this is something that will impact small carriers. It will impact owner operators, because every time new money comes into the market, it leads to inflation, and the inflation leads to higher operating costs, such as fuel, maintenance, truck parts, things like that are to rise at that point. Now, the problem is that small carriers generally have tighter profit margins, and small businesses in general, not just trucking companies, generally react to markets in terms of raising rates much slower than larger companies. And so what happens is you have tighter margins, you're slow to the market, and you have very limited bargaining power, because you might have 1 or 2 trucks, and that's what you got going, versus a company that might have 500 trucks, 1,000 trucks, 5,000 trucks, something like that. So you have limited bargaining power. And at this point, what ends up happening is you end up in a market situation of low rates of what we have going on, and you have high costs. Both of those things combined will just squeeze the last drop of your profits, and you're basically spinning your wheels, or going negative, or going right out of business. So, and that's what a lot of companies are seeing, because we're seeing a lot of exits out of the industry. A lot of MCs are definitely shutting down. Now, on the flip side, you have your large companies. Now, large companies generally, they have many more resources. They have much larger cash reserves. They can stick it out longer. They have a lot more leverage. You're not self-insured, but they can be. You can't put tanks under your parking lot and buy diesel when it's cheap and use it when it's expensive. So all of these things are creating leverage, and they give them time. They buy them time if the companies are managed correctly, of course. So at the end of the day, guys, the Cantillon Effect can put small carriers such as yourself, owner operators. It can really take you guys out there put you to a disadvantage, put you into in a bad situation during economic periods with new money creation. And that's what we've been seeing over the last many years. So you may find yourself struggling to absorb rising costs and raise rates as quickly as larger companies would. So make sure you're keeping your fingers on the pulse. Make sure you understand what's going on in the markets. And don't just kind of dredge the work. Look at your numbers, review everything you got going on. And if you're ever struggling with with getting higher rates or running more efficiently, or just sick of having to deal with brokers, then you can always get in touch with us. Nonetheless, guys, I would love to hear from you in a comment section below if maybe you have some questions or some comments about the Cantillon Effect or the way that you've seen it in the industry. And if you haven't done so, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm going to switch over the camera. We're going to look over the loads we booked for our customers, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Guys, this week we have vans, reefers, and a flatbed. In fact, we'll start off with a vented van. Tariq's the driver. Elizabethtown, Kentucky, going to Richmond, Virginia. 36,000 or 38,681 pound load of plastic film, 576 loaded miles, booked at $1,450. Got him $252 a loaded mile. Then Suffolk, Virginia, going to Hastings, Nebraska, 44,000 pound load of micronutrients, all palletized stuff, 1,425 loaded miles, booked at $2,850. Got him $2 on the mile. Then Salina, Kansas, going to Livonia, Georgia. It's a 43,704 pound load of auto parts, 1,050 loaded miles, booked at $2,100. Got them $2 a mile on that one as well. And they finished off at Hartwell, Georgia, going to Forest Park, Georgia. Quick run there. 45,000 pound load of dry food, a little bit heavier, but it's a short run at only 117 loaded miles. Booked at $700. Got them an easy $598 a loaded mile. It all adds up, guys. Tariq did a great job running Monday to Monday. Ended up grossing $7,100 in his regular dry van. It's a vented van. Anybody can do it. Ended up running 3,168 loaded miles at an average of 224 a loaded mile. So got a ton of miles, and definitely very good gross for a dry van in today's market. Definitely very well done, Tariq. Next, let's take a look. We're gonna jump to Frank in his reefer coming out of Etherville, Iowa, going to Medley, Florida. It's a 40,000 pound load of frozen pork, running 28 degrees on a reefer, 1,743 loaded miles, booked at $4,200. Got him $241 a loaded mile. Then Glenwood, Georgia, going to Pottsville, Pennsylvania. It's a 42.5 load of watermelons at 55 degrees on the reefer, 727 loaded miles. Booked that at $2,600. Got him $358 a loaded mile. And that was it for him. Friday to Friday, one load, $241 a loaded mile, ton of miles. Next load, just under or over $3, $358. So a great job. Ended up grossing $6,800 in 7 days, Friday to Friday. Let's take a look here. Ran 2,470 loaded miles. Actually managed to get his 34-hour reset included. It was definitely worth deadheading from South Florida to Georgia on this one because he got an average of 275 a loaded mile. An excellent job. Way to go, Frank. Next we got, 48-foot flatbed. We got Monty as the driver coming out of Brindley, Minnesota, going to Emmitsburg, Iowa. It's a 43,400 pound load of salt, food grade. Press blocks. There was no tarping required. It was a short run, 188 loaded miles. They booked it at $900, got them $479 a loaded mile. Then Brookings, South Dakota, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here's your longer stuff. 8,000 pound, very light load of LED displays and crates. Tarps were required, but super light load. 1,420 loaded miles, booked at $3,600. Got them $254 a loaded mile going to Las Vegas. Then what they did is deadheaded out to Arizona, Kingman, Arizona, to Richfield, Utah. It's a 45.5 load of glass beads. Tarping was required. 391 loaded miles, booked at $1,375. Got them $352 a loaded mile. So again, good money going in. You know you're going to deadhead. You do that. You took a very light load and a ton of miles. You deadhead a bid. Then you take another excellent load. And then when they did that, they took a final load out of Salt Lake City, Utah, going to Boise, Idaho. It's a full load of masonry and concrete tools. No tarping, but likely full load on the weight. 340 loaded miles, booked at $850. Got them $250. Coming back out to Boise. I'm sure he'll come out of there for really good money coming out this next week. Now, Monty ended up running, Wednesday, 7 days, $6,725 gross on his week. Here's the thing, average of 288 a loaded mile, an excellent, very good RPM, and a very good gross for a flatbed. So an excellent rate. despite everything. So 2,339 loaded miles, $6,725 gross, 288 a loaded mile average. So an excellent job there. Moving on to Ryan and his regular dry van. This is St. Elmo, Illinois, going to Hopkins, Minnesota. 42,000 pound load of food, just dried food goods. 591 loaded miles, booked at 1,050. Got him $1.78 a loaded mile there. Then Faribault, Minnesota, going to New Century, Kentucky, Kansas. It's a 25,000 pound load of non-hazmat chemicals. 418 loaded miles, booked $700. Got him $1.67 on that one. Then New Century, Kansas, Zero Deadhead, going to Loveland, Colorado. It's a light load, 11,000 pounds of condiments going to Walmart, DC. 636 loaded miles, booked at 1,950. Got him $3.07 a loaded mile. Things are getting better. Then at a Golden, Colorado, going to Gillette, Wyoming. That's a 45,000 pound load of beer. Heavy load. Tough to come out of Golden, Colorado. Wyoming's not much better. Let's see how they did. This one was 351 loaded miles, booked at 1,050. Got him $2.99 a loaded mile on that one. And then out of Wyoming, out of Colony, Wyoming, took a load to Hermiston, Oregon, and did a great job. 43,000 pound load of retail goods. Again, another Walmart, DC. This time in Oregon, 951 loaded miles, booked at $2,000. Got him $210 a loaded mile. So honestly, did a great job. Kind of a rocky start, but they had to get him out of a bad market because Midwest was really dead. Did a great job. Ryan running Saturday to Saturday, grossed $67.50. Got $229 a loaded mile and ran 2,947 loaded miles. An excellent job. Way to go, sir. Then we got Aaron and his dry van coming out of Edmond, Oklahoma, going to Monroe Township, New Jersey. It's a 12,500 pound load of miscellaneous appliance parts. 1,424 loaded miles, booked at $3,100. Got him $218 a loaded mile. Then Keysby, New Jersey, going to Greenfield, Indiana. It's a 44,000 pound load of miscellaneous food products. 682 loaded miles, booked at 1,050. Got him $1.54 on that one. Then Indianapolis, Indiana to Manhattan, Kansas. It's a 45,000 pound load of food product. 602 loaded miles, booked at 1,150. Got him $1.91 on that one. Then Burn, Kansas to Joplin, Missouri with a 42,000 pound load of pet food. 270 loaded miles, booked at 850. Got him $3.15 a loaded mile. Finished off out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma to go into Edmond, Oklahoma. Basically made full circle. And that's what he wanted, actually. So 38.5 load of FAK, 102 load miles on that one, $650 booked. Got him $6.37 per mile to come back home. Now, here's the cool part. Wednesday to Wednesday, Aaron ran and ended up running, let's take a look, 3,080 loaded miles, a ton of miles, grossed $6,800, got an average of 221 a loaded miles per loaded mile in his regular dry van. Started home at Edmonton and ended up home again. It was a good deal for the driver. He was actually looking to start at his house and come right back in a week, and was able to do exactly that. So I would say $6,800 in a week. Come out, come back home. I think you had a good week. Excellent job, sir. And let's see here. Last but not least, we got Robert, also a dry van coming out of Minden, Nebraska, going to Georgetown, Georgia. 24,000 pound load of FAK, 1,202 loaded miles, booked at $2,400. Got him $2 a mile. Then Cottonton, Alabama to Fairfield, Ohio. It's a 43.5 load of roll stock. 618 loaded miles, booked at 1,095. Got him $1.77 on that one. Then at Florence, Kentucky to Tampa, Florida, things are looking up. Very light load, 6,700 pound load of general freight, FAK. 905 loaded miles, booked at $2,300. Got him $254 a loaded mile coming out to Florida. Then out of Clearwater, Florida, took a load to Jacksonville, Florida. This is a 15,000 pound load of some sort of Star Freight, TriStar Freight Systems, general freight, basically, again, FAK. 221 loaded miles, booked at $500. Got him $226 a loaded mile on that one. Then they were going to take another load. We had a book for Jacksonville, Florida. Zero Deadhead coming out to Winston-Salem, but unfortunately, Tonu, but we did end up collecting $150 on that one, so only sealed the deal. Hopefully you'll enjoy some time out in Florida or some better loads next week. Did an excellent job out again a week, Friday to Friday. Robert ran, let's take a look, 2,946 loaded miles. Keeping in mind, he actually started out in western Nebraska and, hauling mostly light loads has been definitely a good week. $6,445 gross, ran 2,946 loaded miles at an average of $219 per loaded mile average. Excellent job, everybody. Excellent job. Welcome back, and thanks for sticking around. Guys, Cantillon Effect or not, the markets are where they are. And if you're not performing like our guys every single week, week after week, year after year, then guess what? There's room for improvement and we can certainly help you out. Get in touch with us by calling or texting 801-448-6363 and we can help you out whether you're a carrier or you're a lease-to-own owner operator, whatever your situation is. We might be able to help you make more money. In many situations, we might be able to help you save money from your current operation and of course bring in that revenue so you can have the best of both worlds. Again, 801-448-6363. Call or text that number or get it on our website at aftdispatch.com. You get all the information there. There'll be 2 boxes right on the homepage, carrier and owner operator. Fill out the right box and we'll get in touch with you, answer all your questions. And until next week, stay healthy, be wealthy.